Alrighty. Okay. So with the pillow today, we're going to use it for a little bit of extra muscle activation. So sometimes we'll be squeezing the pillow with our knees. Sometimes we'll be squeezing it behind the knees to get the hamstring going. And then for some of the core work, you might find it comfortable to put it under your tailbone as well, if you find the floor a little bit too firm. But we're going to start lying on our backs, and the pillow will just be between your knees. If it's a bit of a thin one, I'd double it, so like halve it over. But if it's quite thick, you could just place it in between. I'm going to double mine so that it's a little bit wider. And then lie down. And then once you're lying, we just rest the heels of our hands on our two pelvis bones and bring the fingertips together on the lower part of your tummy, just below your belly button. We'll start with a few pelvic tilts just to find our neutral. So if you breathe out, tuck your bottom under, feel your lower back flatten against the mat, and then breathe in and feel that little bit of space appear again under your lower back. You'll exhale, tuck in, feel your pubic bone pull towards your belly button. And you'll also feel that your hip bones are sinking down in towards the stomach there. And then as you inhale, you'll feel that your tailbone becomes heavier on the mat again. Exhale, tuck under, and then inhale, let it go. And then this time when you tuck the pelvis under, I want you to also engage your pelvic floor. So you'll be gently lifting quite internally to switch on your pelvic floor. And then as we inhale, we'll let the pelvic floor go. And we'll just do that 5 more times. So exhale, pelvic floor switches on. We tuck the pelvis under, and then inhale to release. And then exhale, switching on. You might also feel your buttock muscles switch on a little bit as you tuck the pelvis in. And then inhale to let go. And 2 more times. So a little bit of pelvic floor, lower stomach, and buttock muscles switching on. 1 more time, and then we'll rest in neutral. So we'll exhale to pull under. Inhale to go back into that neutral position. And then I just want you to feel that there's a bit of space under your lower back. We're going to keep that space there for this exercise, but not so much space that you're actively arching your back. So heels of the hands can stay on the lower tummy there. We're going to squeeze onto the pillow. So you'll feel your inner thighs switch on a little bit here. Maintain that squeeze. Use your lower abdominals here, and then float both feet off the floor. All right, so now we're in double tabletop position. We'll breathe in to lower, back down. Well done. So exhale, squeeze the pillow, use the stomach muscles, float both feet off the floor. And then inhale to lower back down. We'll just do that about 3 more times. I want you to feel through your fingertips that as your feet lift off the ground, your lower stomach isn't sort of popping upwards into your fingers. So it should stay quite flat between those 2 pelvis bones. And that's where the challenge is here. That's where you'll start to use that deep abdominal muscle, TA, that we refer to when we talk about your core. Good. And then 1 more time, let's breathe out to lift and then breathe in to hold. We're now going to place our hands behind our head. So maintaining that tabletop position and that squeeze on the pillow. So we've still got our inner thighs switched on. We'll now exhale, curl forward. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders. And when you lift up, you feel your ribs slide towards your hips this time. Inhale to lower back down. Exhale to curl forwards, feeling the tummy engage. Inhale to lower down. When you are curling up, I would like you to still have that little space under your lower back. So we're still in neutral, even though you're now lifting through your chest. So we'll try and lift the ribs or sink the ribs, but not tuck the pelvis under. So we're trying to isolate those upper abdominals a little bit. Make sure you've still got that squeeze on the pillow. We'll exhale, curl up. Inhale, lie down. Let's go 5 more times. We're really warming up through our upper and lower abdominals now. And your abdominals work really closely with your inner thighs to create more muscular stability across the front of your pelvis. That's our anterior oblique sling. So this is really important for all the mums in the class, because you really want that crossover stability to come back after you've gone through your pregnancy. All right, let's curl up and hold. Holding here. Take a breath in Breathe out. You now tap your toes to the floor. Breathe in to lift the feet back to tabletop. Exhale, tap really lightly. Imagine there's a puddle on the floor and you're just really gently tapping your toes into it. Tap, and then lifting back up out of it. Definitely feel my stomach muscles here. Let's go tap and lift another 5 times. Make sure you're still breathing. Make sure you're still squeezing that pillow. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. We've got 3 to go. Lift a little higher, maybe through your chest, and then just check you've still got that little gap under your lower back. So you haven't squashed that blueberry that I always talk about. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. I think we might have 1 more to go. Let's tap and lift. Stay lifted through your chest. Squeeze that pillow. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pop your feet down. Well done. Relax for a moment. Keep the pillow between your knees. We're going to rock the knees over to the left, and you'll feel that your right foot lifts almost straight away because you've got that pillow in there. Come back through the center, put your right foot down, rock your knees to the right, and feel that your left foot lifts. So it's like your legs are moving as one, and we're getting that little stretch through our pelvis. Over, and then 1 more time, rotate to the right. Good. Come back to the middle. Keep your hands behind your head. And we're going to, again, squeeze onto that pillow. Switch on through the belly. Float both feet to tabletop. And then I want you to rock your feet, your knees over to the left a little. So we've got our knees pointing left. We can feel our tummy working here. Come back through the center. And then rock your knees a little bit to the right. So when you rock to the right, you'll feel your left hip lift. And then come back to the middle. Your hip will lift, but your shoulders won't. So we'll go over to the left. Feel that you're really using your stomach muscles here to control this movement. You can see I'm not going very far. If I go any further, I'll go all the way over. But you might have more control. So you're welcome to go as far as you can control without feeling like you're just going to roll all the way over to the side. Over to the right and back to the middle. Let's inhale as we rock over and exhale as we pull our knees back to the middle. We're going to go 1 more time to the right and then over to the left and hold for some oblique crunches. So knees are pointing left, your right hip is a little bit hovering off the ground. And let's curl up looking over that right hip. And then inhale to lie back down. Well done. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to lower down. So you'll feel that both shoulder blades lift up off the mat. So we're not doing a full rotation here. We're kind of lifting straight through our chest, but because our legs are rocked off to the side, we've got that oblique focus through that right side. Exhale up, inhale down. We've got 6 to go. Try and let your head feel heavy in your hands. So you're really supporting the weight of your head with your hands there. And you want to imagine like you're holding a little apple, or another cue I had this week was an egg under your chin. I quite like that. You're trying not to crack the egg, but you're trying to hold it gently in place under your chin. Let's go for another 4. Good. 3 more here. 3. That's it. 2 more. Make sure you're using the breathing. 2. 1 more. Curl up. Hold it at the top. Squeeze that pillow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head down. Rock your knees to the middle. Well done. If you need to plop your feet down, you can. Otherwise, we're going to rock straight over to the right. And then we'll curl up, looking over that left hip. So let's exhale, curl up. Inhale, lie down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. We're looking over the left hip. Good. Think of your right rib cage coming towards your left hip a little bit here as we lift. Good. Still use your lower stomach muscles. So think of connecting pubic bone to belly button. So you've got that lower abdominal muscle switched on, and we're just holding the pillow in place at the moment. Let's go for another 4, 3, 2. Abs are burning. 1 more, lift and hold and squeeze that pillow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to the middle. Well done. Feet go down. Let's reach the arms all the way overhead. Keep the pillow between your knees. We're going to use it again in just a moment. And then relax your hands down by your sides. So if you need to readjust your pillow, it's between your knees, and we're going into a bridging sequence now. So your feet are quite close to your buttock here. I can tap my heels with my fingers when I reach towards them. If you get sore knees, you can go a bit further out and you won't feel as tight across the kneecaps. From there, keep the palms facing the ceiling, so we'll turn them upwards. And we're going to start by rocking the pelvis back like we practiced at the start of class. Press on your heels mostly here. Squeeze your buttock muscles and peel your hips up off the floor. I want you to feel as though you're pressing your pelvis towards the ceiling by squeezing your buttock muscles, but that you're also pulling your pelvis under by using your stomach muscles. So we're really imagining this close connection through the front of our stomach wall here. Let's hold at the top, squeeze onto that pillow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll back down. Well done. I'm just going to shimmy my feet a little closer together so that I don't feel like I'm angling my knees in too much. Tuck the bottom in again. Press through the heels. Squeeze the buttock muscles. Lift up. I want most of the effort here in your buttock, not your hamstrings. If you're feeling too much hamstring effort or like you're going to cramp, you need to tuck your bottom in a little bit more and really pull those hips in towards the ribs. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll it down. Well done. And again, this time we're going to hold for 10 of those squeezes. Lift up. Peeling up, tucking in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it down, bone by bone. Come back to neutral. Roll it one more time, peeling all the way up. We've got 20 squeezes, and then we're going to do some little hip dips. So again, connect ribs to hips. Let's squeeze for 20. We're tucking the pelvis in. We're pressing mostly through the heels. We're using our glutes, using our inner thighs. We're pulling through our tummy muscles, getting everything going. Now I've forgotten to count. Let's go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep pushing the hips up. 3, 2. Hold that squeeze. Lower your hips about halfway down towards the mat and then press them back up. Inhale to lower. Exhale to press up. Inhale, lower down. Feel like your tailbone untucks on the way down, and then you tuck it back up on the way up. We want to try and do as little from our ribs as we can. So the ribs will stay almost in the exact same position here, and it'll be the hips that lower up and down, and it will be that real sense of squeezing through your buttock muscles rather than arching through your back that creates the lift. Let's go for another 5. Good. 4. Well done. 3, 2, 1 more. Lift and hold. Tuck it in. We're just here for a 10-second hold. Squeezing the pillow, squeezing the glutes for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll down, bone by bone, and rest. Whew. Let's take the pillow out. Well done. Stretch one leg out, grab the back of the other thigh and point your toes at the ceiling. Let's draw a few little ankle circles. One way and back the other way. And then swap legs. Tight circles round and round the other way. And then the last little part of this warm-up will be our scissors, which we've done a few times. So keep hold of the back of whatever leg's pointing at the ceiling. Mine's my left. Curl up and kind of climb up the back of that leg and then float your other leg off the floor. We do 2 little pulses as we pull that leg towards us, and then we swap and we pulse, and then we swap and we pulse. I like this exercise because it's a bit of a stretch through the hamstrings, the backs of the legs, but it's an abdominal exercise at the same time. Let's go for another 10, 9, good, 8. And as you work through, you can start to reach a little higher up the leg, get a slightly deeper stretch, and Slightly more abdominal work. 3, 2, and 1, and rest. All right. Let's go into sitting. We're going to keep going on our abdominals, and then we'll get to our legs and a little bit of balance work later. So the pillow is back between the knees. I like mine doubled. Pop it in. It'll just be sort of between your thighs, like down quite close to your knees, and we'll use this for our roll down sequence today. So when you're sitting, try not to have your knees too bent, because you'll just feel a bit too compressed through your hips. I like to have my legs out as far as I can comfortably with my feet flat. If I go any further, my feet will lift up. So that's a good spot there. And then you'll feel that you're sitting right on your sit bones, those bony parts of your bottom. If we reach the hands out in front of us, tuck the bottom under and feel for the point where you roll onto your tailbone. So that's me there. And this is kind of like the same action that we did with our bridges, but in reverse. So we're going from the top down rather than from the bottom up. And then let's roll forwards using the tummy and come all the way back up onto your sit bones. So we'll inhale at the top, we'll exhale, roll back, nice and slow. Get that same action of pulling the pubic bone to the belly and the ribs to the hips. Roll back, you'll find a point where you end up resting on your tailbone, and then we roll back up. So Nat, if this is uncomfortable for you, that could be there, all right? And you'll just find that you don't end up resting so firmly onto that part of your pelvis if it's uncomfortable. And anyone else can do that too. We'll roll back. Good, get that tailbone, and then we roll forward. We're going to start to go a little bit further now, if you feel comfortable. So you're tucking under, you're pulling through your tummy, you're squeezing your ribs to your hips, and then we'll go a little bit past the tailbone, a little bit further, and then just check that you're really pulling in, so you're not arching your back, you're rounding it. And then let's roll forward. How far you go depends on a few things. One is your abdominal strength, but the other is your flexibility in your spine. So I've got a bit of a stiff back. So there's sort of a point where I just feel like a bit of a block. I can't really round any further, but you might have a more flexy spine and you might be able to roll a little bit further back. Rolling back. Feel that point where you can't stay round any longer. And if you go any further, you probably just fall all the way back and then roll up. Let's go 3 more times like this, rolling back, holding that pillow in place, and then rolling forwards by using your stomach muscles. 2 more here. 2. Good. Keep your gaze straight ahead so that your neck is in neutral. And 1 more time. Let's roll back. Hold it low. Hold that point. Pulse. Reach your hands either side of your legs. Feel that every time you pulse up, it's an extra little squeeze of your ribs towards your hips. So it's like you're sinking your ribs even further into your belly with every pulse. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, roll all the way up. Well done. Good. Let's reset. We're just going to do 1 more set with our oblique twist, which we've also practiced before. And I like having the pillow between the knees for this one because it's going to help you to make sure your twist comes from your ribs rather than from your whole body, because you'll feel that your knees move if you twist too far. So let's roll back, roll to whatever point you feel like you've got the control. Hold it there. Bend your right elbow, pull your hand back towards your ribs and turn to the right side. So if you have a look at your knees, they should still be level with each other. If you've gone too far, your right knee is going to be pulling back from your left. Come back to the middle and then go to the left. Pull the elbow back, turn to the left, back to the middle. We're going to go right, middle, left, middle. And as you twist, you're going to feel your rib go towards your opposite hip. Try and stay long through the neck. And as you pull the elbow back, really open that shoulder blade back as well. Let's go 1 more to each side after this. So we'll do last one to the right, last one to the left, roll all the way up, Well done. And then our final set here will be 5 to the right side in a row, and then 5 to the left side in a row. So let's roll back, get that gentle squeeze on the pillow, and we'll go for 5, 4, 3, get those ribs to rotate, 2, and 1. Back to the middle, straight to the left. Let's go 5, 4, 3, good, 2, and 1, and roll all the way up. Well done. All right, take the pillow out. Stretch your legs out long, give them a little shake, and then we're going to go into some side lying work. So we'll be on our right side to start with. Few options here. I'm going to demonstrate on my elbow. If your neck gets sore and you don't like it, you can use your pillow and kind of rest your head like that. We will use the pillows again in a minute, but not right now for this exercise, other than to support your head. So come onto your elbow. We'll probably start a little bit saggy like this. So push up, push your chest away from the ground, and feel that your neck is long, but that your shoulder blade is really set through the back there. It's not tipping forward, it's pulling back against your rib cage. We're going to lift through the waist as well. So it's like you're active, really active through that underside. Check that your hips are square here. So if your top hip's rolling backwards, bring it forwards so that the front of your pelvis, both hips are pointing straight forward in front of you, and then stretch your left leg out nice and long. All right, let's start with our upward pulses. Just lifting up and down, not too far, not a big movement, because you can see if I go too far, my waist sinks. So just lifting purely through the hip, and there'll just be a limit to how far you can go, depending on your strength and your flexibility. Let's go for 5 more up and down. 3, 2, 1, and then we'll draw our little circles for 10, 9, 8, 7, keep pushing up through that right elbow, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we go back the other way. 10, 9, good, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. If you feel okay with that, we're going to press up into our side plank. So you'll be on your knees and on your elbow. We just need to make sure our feet are back behind us a bit. And like always, we'll do a little practice run to check we're in the right position. Let's push up through the right knee, right elbow, lift the hips, stretch the left leg out, check that you feel like you don't need to move anything, and then come back down. I think I want to be a little bit further back. All right, and now we'll go for our pulses. So lift the hips, press through the right elbow, lift the left leg, and here we pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Onto your circles. So you should also feel like your bottom hip is working here. So you're pressing up through your elbow and your hip. 3, 2, 1. Back the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. One more round of side plank work, and then we will be switching sides. So back onto the elbow, back onto the knees. Let's lift up, stretch it out. This time reach your arm over your head. Try and keep your body still as we tap elbow to knee, and then stretch. Tap, stretch. That's it. Let's go for 8 and 7. Stay lifted. Try and stay really long through your waist. 5, 4, 3, lift a little higher, 2, and 1, and rest. Well done. Lie down on your side. Might use the pillow if it's in reach. Reach both hands out in front of you. Bring that knee forward. Grab onto it with your right hand, and then open your left arm back behind you. Find a stretch. You can kind of reach your arm up overhead and bend it back by your side, or you can rotate a little bit further if you like, or you can just hold it still. Whatever feels good to you. Well done. All right. I said we were going into the other side, but we're not just yet. We'll do one of our sort of rotating sequences. So continuing on with the left leg that we just worked, place your pillow now in the back of your leg. You've probably seen this exercise being done with like little yoga balls and things. So this will get our left hamstring going. We're going to hold on to that pillow, press through your palms, make sure your chest is lifting from the floor. So again, we're not sort of sagging through the shoulder blades. Your right knee is under your right hip. We're going to press through our left palm into the ground. Let your right knee become heavy and your left knee become light. And then with a nice flat foot, think of kicking your left heel towards the ceiling. Hold here and pulse up and down, squeezing through the left buttock, using the left stomach muscles so we're not arching through the back. Everything stays nice and stable, and let's press that heel towards the ceiling. Keep pressing, keep holding the pillow. Let's go for 5, and then we'll hold. 3, 2, hold it here, count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to our pulses. 10 pulses and a 5-second hold. 8, 7, lead with the heel, squeeze through the buttock. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. 3, 2, 1, and now squeeze that heel towards your buttock, squeezing the pillow. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Bring that down and place the pillow in front of you. We're going to challenge our balance now. So excuse me if I tumble to the floor. Stand up and place your left foot onto your pillow. Left foot is on the pillow. Right foot is back behind us. We're going to do a lunging sequence with a little bit of ankle stability challenge. So as you lunge down, let your right knee touch the floor and then stand all the way back up. Good. We're going to take it slow because it's a bit wobbly. Let's lunge down and then stand up. Now your balance needs to be a combination of using your stomach muscles here so that your trunk is nice and stable. Your ankle stability, this is a good one for you, Pavi, at the moment. And then the power of your legs. So squeeze through your buttock, drive through your heel. Think of pressing yourself up away from the ground and really create a bit of resistance to your movement. So in Tai Chi, they always talk about imagining that you're moving through honey. So you sort of create your own resistance through the air. And I think that really helps to get your muscles engaging. So try and like slow it down on the way down and then slow it down on the way up. Well done. Let's do 5 more of these lunges. Tap the ground and lift. 4. 3 more. Good. 2 more before we make life a little more challenging. 1 more. Tap the ground. And then we're going to have a go at pushing up and bringing that right knee up in front of us. Well done. Balancing on that left leg. Fold over. Bring the right leg back to the floor. Oh dear, I've messed my mat up. And then press up and lift your knee up in front of you. We're going to do 3 more of these. These are hard. Lunge it down. Lift it up. 2 more. Might want to use your arms for a bit of stability. Good. 1 more. Tap it back. Lift it up and let's hold. Holding here for 10, 9, 8. Remember, tummy on, buttock on. Ankle is just absorbing the movement of the pillow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Grab your pillow. Don't know if anyone else found that as difficult as I did. Place it between your knees. You can still face this way. All right, and then we're going down into a little squat. So if you've done yoga, you know chair pose. We're going to sink down, reach the hands up ahead of us, and hold. We're here for 20 seconds, pressing through the heels, holding onto that pillow between your knees, and really lift through your chest. Hold for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand tall. Well done. All right. Shake it all out and let's do the other side. So if you wanted your pillow under your head, by all means lie down. Otherwise, we're on our left elbow this time, left knees, and we're pressing up through that left shoulder and waist. Stretch the right leg out, reach it long. Make sure you don't sink through your waist once that leg's lifted. And we'll start with our little pulses. Pressing through the elbow. Ooh, I'm a bit out of breath. Let's do another 10. Squeezing through the right buttock here. 5, until we go into our circles. 2, 1, let's circle for 10. Good. 8, 7, try not to roll that top hip back. If you imagine you've got little laser beams connected to your pelvis bones, they're both shining straight forward. Let's circle back the other way. Keep lifting through the shoulder. Keep drawing that shoulder blade back. 3, 2, 1, rest it down. Good. So next we're going into our side plank. You'll be pressing through your elbow, lifting up through your knees. Let's do our practice one. Check that we're all in the right position. That felt pretty good to me. I don't think I need to adjust anything. So let's lift through the shoulder, lift through the hips, stretch it out, and we do our pulses up and down for 10. And then we've got our 10 circles in each direction. 3, 2, 1, onto your circles. Your circles are about the size of an orange. They're not big. 3, 2, 1, back the other way. 10, 9, 8, lifting through that underneath hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. All right. When you're ready, we press up. Last set here, we reach long, and then we're tapping knee to elbow for 10. 9, stretch it out. 8, good. 7, stretch. 6, 5, 4, 3, this is tough. 2, last one, and rest. Well done. Oh, I feel that. Okay, onto our hands and knees. Grab the pillow, place it behind the right knee this time and hold on to it. So hands under shoulders, we're pressing through our palms to lift our chest away from the ground. I'm going to press a little bit more firmly through that right palm this time. Feel your left knee get heavier. Right knee gets a little lighter. Flatten your foot. Lift your heel towards the ceiling. We start our pulses. So the first set of pulses are not a pillow squeeze. They're a little hip lift, like you're pressing your heel up to the ceiling. Using the stomach muscles to make sure that we stay neutral through our spine, but also that you're not leaning across to the left here. So your weight is nice and central. Let's hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another set of 10 pulses. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up there. Remember that little egg under your chin that you're trying not to crack. 3, 2, 1. And then we squeeze our pillow using that hamstring. Tuck the bottom in if you're thinking that you might be starting to sag. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Well done. All right, place the pillow out in front of you. Time for our balance. Let's stand up. Right foot goes onto the pillow, right in the center of it. Left foot steps back. The other trick with your lunges is make sure your feet are hip width apart. So if your feet are like in a direct line with each other, you won't have enough base of support and you'll find that harder to balance as well. All right, tummy draws in. Let's lunge down. Tap the left knee to the ground and then press up. Lunge and lift. Good. As you're lunging, try and remember all the things we lined up at the start of the class. So the ribs and hips drawing together so that you're not arching your back. We want to be in that neutral position. And I guarantee if you use your pelvic floor and your tummy muscles, you'll be a lot more balanced and steady. Slowly down. Good. And up. Let's do another 5 of our lunges before we start lifting that left knee up in front of us. Really challenging the balance. 3, 2 more here. Good. 1 more, lunge down, then press through the right heel, lift up. Good. Find your balance, step back, Tap the ground, press through the right heel, lift up. Let's go 3 more times. Step back, lunge, lift. 2 more here before we hold that balance at the top. 1 more time, lunge, press up, hold. Let's count to 10, 9, 8. Use the tummy, use the butt. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Grab your pillow, fold it in half, place it between your legs. We're coming into our chair pose again. This time we're holding a little bit longer. So let's fold it. So fold down, reach up, hold here. Try and really sort of grab the ground with your toes if you can. So you've got your weight on your heels, but you're sort of really spreading your toes out into the floor. And let's keep holding here. Hold for another 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6. Sink a little deeper if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you hold? Lift up onto your toes, lower your heels. 10 of these, and then we're going to collapse all the way down onto our bottoms. 8, 7, should be feeling your quads. 6, try and stay as tall as you can through your chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Heels go down and sit all the way down. And then we're going to roll all the way down to the mat, arms overhead. Well done. Let's keep our pillow between our knees as we rock side to side again. Just let everything go. You may want to take your arms out wide. You might want to have them above your head. You might want them down by your sides, whatever's comfortable to you. Well done. Good. Last thing we're going to do is roll onto our tummies. Pillow can go. You're going to rest your forehead on the tops of your hands, like so. And I want you to imagine that your forehead is glued to your fingertips, so we don't lose that contact between our head and our hands at all here. Think of drawing your belly button towards your spine. Think of connecting between your ribs and hips. It's almost like you're pulling your belly button up off the ground, and that's so that we don't just arch into our back. We're going to do a few chest lifts here. So exhale, hover your hands, elbows, and forehead off the ground, and then inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. Good. Inhale, lower. So if you keep pulling that pubic bone towards the belly button, you should find that your lifting comes from about your bra level rather than from your lower back. Let's go for another 8, using those muscles between our shoulder blades. You can sort of think of squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other as you lift. 5, 4, good. 3 more before we get our legs involved. 2, lift and hold. Hold here. Lift one leg, lift the other leg. Keep alternating between your legs. Good. Let's do another 3 on each side. Stay lifted through your chest. 2. Good. And then we're going to go into a kicking action after this one. And 1. So let's lift both legs and kick. Kick the legs. Keep breathing. Your gaze should be down towards the floor. Your fingertips are still connected to your forehead. And let's kick for another 10, 9. Imagine you're swimming in a pool. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Come onto your hands and knees. Bring your toes together, knees apart. Sit back onto your heels and reach your hands forward. Let your forehead rest onto the ground and take a few deep breaths here. You might like to bring your hands back behind you. I quite like this position. It's really relaxing. Or you can keep your arms up in front for more of a stretch around the shoulders. 1 more big breath in and out. Come onto your hands and knees. We're going to run that right hand underneath the left. Turn the chest to the side. Imagine like you're bringing your right shoulder blade towards the floor, and then if you can, just rest your head on the ground. And we'll hold here for a big breath in and out. Come out of that stretch. Right hand to the floor, left hand underneath, reach it through. Get that twist through your spine, and then let your head rest down. Big breath in and out. Come out of that stretch. Bring your right knee towards your right wrist. Right foot towards left wrist. Let's sink into our pigeon. As always, we start up on our extended arms until you feel that right hip sort of letting go. You can kind of rock it around, find a comfy position, and then if you want to, come down onto your forearms. And if you want to, come down onto your forehead. Up to you where you hold this. I kind of like to be up on my elbows. It's a bit less intense. And just hold that for another breath in. Good, come out of that stretch. Step that foot back behind you. Left knee, left elbow, left foot, right elbow or wrist. Stretch the right leg back behind you. Start up on your elbows. Get your hips square. Imagine those laser beams again. They're pointing towards the ground, and then come down to your forearms if you want to. And then of course take it down onto your forehead if you like. Gets a little bit deeper for every different position there. Come back to my elbows. Good. Come up out of that stretch. Bring that leg back behind you. Come onto your knees. Let's reach the hands to the ceiling. Press the palms straight up. Bit of a shrug through the shoulders, tip to the side. And then we're going to roll forwards, reach your hands away from you. Really try and open your shoulder blades, roll over to the other side. And then we go back the other way, over to the left. Reach it forward, feel the back of that right shoulder blade open. And then over to the right side, feel the left shoulder blade open. Come all the way up tall, let your shoulders shrug. And then relax. And you're all finished. Well done. Hope you enjoyed that session. It's good to be back. Back in ISO. Back to Pilates.
Thank you.